Stories for the longest time, in fact from their very beginning, have served many purposes. Be it motivating someone, be it making you feel something, or simply sometimes portray a simple philosophy. And rightfully said by Amir Khan in an interview that filmmaking is one of the youngest art forms. And with that in mind, animation can be considered an even younger art form. And for the most part of film history, animation was definitely not the strongest storytelling medium known to humans. However, major credit should be given to Japan for providing a cultural strength and identity to the art form. Coming to talk about India, 2025 definitely Indian animation के लिए काफ़ी बड़ा साल साबित हुआ. Although anime की popularity इंडिया में 2021 के end से ही grow होनी शुरू हो चुकी थी, finally 2025 proved to be the year when one can say anime अब इंडिया में mainstream है. And now that what I said is true, let's discuss some anime जो वैसे हैं तो anime but are so close to reality that you feel nothing but simple epicness from their existence. Worlds shown in both Attack on Titan and Vinland Saga, although were fictional, were realistic human emotions से काफ़ी closely जुड़ी हुई थी and were not like your regular anime like One Piece, Naruto और My Hero Academia, जहाँ तुम्हें positive emotions जैसे importance of friendship या motivation feel कराया जाता है. जो emotion Attack on Titan और Vinland Saga में show करी गई थी, there were some trauma-oriented, realistic negative emotions. And trust me, you are not going on a world genocide spree when you are the protagonist of the story, unless you are Eren Yeager. And do you know ऐसा कौन सा character है जो मुझे सबसे close लगता है to Eren Yeager in Indian cinema? It would definitely be Ranveer Singh from Animal. And the exact line that defines both the character is, आज से एक खरोच भी आई तो दुनिया जला दूंगा. And guess who did that literally? Eren. हालांकि पापा येगर को तो इसने खुद ही निपटा दिया था. But guess पापा के पीछे कौन पागल था? Thorfinn. And Thorfinn was some really gutsy kid when you look at it. Imagine staying with your father's killers in the hopes of killing them someday. And that too at the age of 6. Both the series Attack on Titan and Vinland Saga were some highly layered and complex stories that dealt with personal complexions of the character, which in today's context of content is very relatable or just very satisfying for the audience to watch. People today love flawed characters. People love to see underdog characters that are growing at a personal level. But at the same time, characters like Eren and Thorfinn that are not particularly on a personal growth journey, but rather on a self-destruction journey, challenging the regular trajectory of a hero. And a sense of hook that's created in such characters is them having a goal, which for Eren was global genocide and for Thorfinn was his revenge. And what keeps their hook relevant is them having a very compelling and justifying reason for their actions. And the reason I am focusing on this particular point is because there are two very different and distinct feelings that are working together to make you actually like these characters. You see, first you are shown the reason for what they do further in the series, and this thing being linear is very important because it creates a soft spot in your head for the characters. And then when they go on their self and social destruction journey, you feel empathy for them. You get this feeling where you understand why they are behaving the way they are and doing the things they do. Imagine if Eren was real. First of all, chances of you being born in Eldia would be very low. And that means chances of you being born in Marley would be higher. And now imagine Eren with his big ass skeleton coming to end you once and for all. Now you don't feel empathy, do you? And this is what I'm talking about. Many people, even in my surrounding, did not like the ending of Attack on Titans. While there were different reasons, this particular point of perspective I feel was better explored in Vinland Saga, where in season 1 of Vinland Saga, Thorfinn goes on his revenge path till the very end. Season 2 very well focused on the point where they challenged the perspective of even the audience, when they explored the character after his goal was attained. He lost the purpose of his life. He found a new goal and a new meaning for everything. Vinland Saga is therefore my personal favorite because it challenges your emotion and expectations as a viewer. It challenges your perspective towards life. And while this was the field that Vinland Saga aced, Attack on Titan was better with the feeling where they take you close to the feeling of sacrifice. Remember the scene where Erwin marches his army to death against Beast Titan, or how Mikasa cuts Eren's head? These were some scenes that genuinely create a sense of attachment to the characters in your head. These scenes create a bittersweet feeling in your head that heighten your emotions and connect you with the characters through their own sacrifice. Now, apart from these points of both the series, when you look at it, both the series goes on completely different trajectories. Now, although both the protagonists Eren and Thorfinn start the journey from a very young age with a sense of rage and revenge, both have very different journeys throughout their respective stories. Now, I know Eren was a prisoner of his own fate, and almost all the decisions he took were his destiny. However, the decisions were still in favor of his own people. He wanted to save his own people, which were the Eldians, because they were his friends, and the rest of the world wanted to destroy them. And his decisions were made after his realization that there was no diplomatic way out of the hatred that the world had for Eldians. Although his definition of enemy were those who wanted to kill his friends. But for Thorfinn, this was not the case. He already hated his father's murderers. To him, Askeladd, who killed his father, was his enemy. But it was only later when Askeladd dies does he realize that he has no enemies, which his father wanted to teach him. And this is why I think Thorfinn was a lot more luckier compared to Eren, that he got a chance to change himself. And this was the exact point of the series. In fact, this is the point that Askeladd talks about in Thorfinn's dream sequence. Thorfinn had a second chance in life to walk away from war and hatred, but for Eren, that was never an option. If he had not taken matters into his own hands, his own people would have suffered. Therefore, he chose his fate to save his own friends, whereas Thorfinn even left his own family to sort of create a world with no war.
किस कलर की चड्डी पहने हो?
So that was all for the video, guys. Now if you like the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please tell me in the comment section how you feel about the video, and please press the subscribe button to help me grow this channel and shoot more interesting content your way.